What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Moore, and in today's video we got a brand new Yamaha XSR900. Now keep in mind I said this bike is brand new, even though it looks like it's straight out of the 80s. This bike is a retro bike that is built to look like an old school Yamaha that they made in the 80s, and they did a super good job of these things. These things are super cool looking. They have a very straight up and down riding position. In other words, you're sitting, you're not leaned over hardly at all to ride this thing. So we got it in here. We're going to be doing a full Yoshimura AT2 exhaust install and a K&N air filter. Now, the exhaust on this bike from the factory, pretty, I guess you would say, weird. This is the exhaust system here. This is where it stops. Literally, the exhaust comes out right here. So if there's any dirt on the ground, guess what? It blows it on your shoes. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with the exhaust on this thing. I guess there's no way it can burn your leg or your foot, but man, it sure does look funny, and it sounds pretty pathetic. I don't know. Let's crank it up. Okay, that wasn't too cool. So anyways, we're going to be putting this Yoshimura system on here. This is a 3-cylinder bike, so this thing is going to sound super unique. We'll have it fired up in just a second so you can see what it sounds like. Just like that, the exhaust system is installed on the XSR900, and this thing looks 1,000,000 times better. Now, not only does it look 1,000,000 times better, it also sounds 1,000,000 times better. I have a good video at the very end when we get it off the dyno, and you can see it from, you know, back, I guess you would say, a normal shot. But let's fire this thing up, see what it sounds like. Then we're gonna do a baseline pull, see what kind of horsepower we've got with the stock ECU and just the exhaust and air filter. Now you can hear the thing. All right, let's see how it performs. The results, we come in as a baseline pull at 110 and 65 foot-pounds of torque. You can see the air-fuel ratio is not horrible on these things to start with, so we're gonna have to get rid of all these pesky restrictions to get some more power out of this thing. Here we go, guys. We're almost finished up with the tune on this thing. We got some nice power gains, and we've got rid of the top speed limiter. We get a top speed of 158 miles per hour on the dyno, so theoretically this thing's got plenty of top speed. This customer also elected for the pops and bangs option, which is 100% totally optional. Check out the noise we can get. If you like that, we can get out of these things on these things. some nice power gains out of this thing. 11610, 67 foot-pounds of torque. You can look and see how nice the air-fuel ratio is. I'll show you the, I guess you would say, the baseline graph in just a second. But let's talk about the pops and bangs. So the pops and bangs is 100% optional. It's a love it or hate it thing, guys. There is no right or wrong. Doesn't add or subtract any horsepower. If you want the extra noise, the burble on decel, it's pretty much on your command with this bike. So if you're slowing down above 5,000 RPMs, you can just barely touch back the throttle and you'll get the little popcorn, little snap, crackle, pop, little Rice Krispie treats. If you don't like it, we don't have to do that option. If you like it, but you don't want to hear it all the time, no problem. Just let off the gas, smooth as can be. All right, so let's look at our baseline pull versus our finished pull, and then we're gonna talk more about what kind of restrictions we removed from this thing. So you can see, let's minimize this a little bit. You can see in our horsepower graph where we picked up 10 horsepower at 10,200 RPMs. So this thing, huge gains, mainly on the top end. And the reason for that is, that's because of the electronic throttle valve in this thing. So the throttle in this bike is all electronic, okay? So even though your hand is twisting here, it's telling the computer what to do, and then the computer pretty much does whatever it wants, okay? So we dynoed the bike in 5th gear, so let's put this in gear 5. And then you can see here, this is 100% throttle, so this is how much your hand is giving it. This over here is your RPMs. And as you can see, it goes up to 100% at 7,000 RPMs, and then it goes back to 88% at 10,000 RPMs. So even though you're wide open, that's where basically as soon as those throttle plates shut back off, that's why the thing quits pulling there. So you got a lot of horsepower that we can gain and a lot of top speed that we can get where this thing normally shuts us off. We keep it going, and this thing is gonna pull much harder in all reality. Now, keep in mind, we can also do other things like lower the fan temps. We also disable the decel fuel cut. So when you let off the throttle from the factory, normally the fuel injector is cut completely off and the throttle does like that. A lot of engine braking. Well, when you're riding in the corners or in the twisties, you feel the bike constantly back, forth, as you're on the throttle, off the throttle, on the throttle, off the throttle. My hand was backwards from what I was saying. Did you realize that? So anyways, we get rid of that, okay? And what we do is we keep the fuel injectors running whenever you let off the throttle. We also disable the top speed limiter, so you don't gotta worry about that. Basically, you get all the nannies and all the, not nannies, so your traction control, wheelie control, all that stuff still works on the bike, but all the pesky restrictions, they're gone with just a simple ECU flash. Hit us up if you have any more questions, moremafia.com. You can then go to the ECU flashing page. Once you get to that page, there's a video that's gonna pop up. Watch that video because that has so many more details on how to get your ECU flash and what you gotta do to send it in, how the whole process works. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. We're gonna get this thing off the dyno, wheel it outside so you can see it in complete assembled fashion. Let me know what you think about how this exhaust looks. And just like that, the XSR900 is all finished up and put back together. What do you guys think about this exhaust system, the way it looks and the way it sounds compared to our other video with the Leo Vinci exhaust? If you haven't seen that video, we'll drop a link for it up here. Go check that video out, see what you think. Performance results, I feel like pretty similar. Looks and sounds, I like this one a little better. So comment in the comments below, let us know what you think and what other XSR exhaust systems have you seen that you like compared to this one. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that subscribe button, click the bell for notifications, and smash that like button. We appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.